Let's take a look at adding mixed numbers. In this first example, Madison made a fruit salad. She used 3¼ cups of strawberries and 2¼ cups of blueberries. How many cups of berries did Madison use altogether? In this example, we're going to put them together. The 3¼ cups of strawberries and the 2¼ cups of blueberries. So we need to add them. Well, let's take a look at what that means we have. Here's our 3¼ and here's our 2¼ So what that really means is we have one whole, one whole, one whole, and 1/4. And then we have one whole, and one whole, and 1/4 here as well. So what that is indicating is we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which gives us 5 wholes. And then we also have 1/4 plus 1/4, which means that we have a total of 2/4. Now, before we're finished, though, we do want to make sure we can check for simplifying. Which is the same as 1/2. So we can ultimately say that there is 5½ cups of berries. Here's another example. Jacqueline went running around the track with her friend Marcy. Jacqueline completed 2⅓ laps, and Marcy completed 4⅓ laps. How many total laps did they complete together? So since they're doing this together, we are going to add them together, 2⅓ plus 4⅓. And here we have Jackie's 2⅓. So that's one whole there and one whole there. And here's her 1/3. And then Marcy, who did 4⅓, there's 2, 3, 4. So 4⅓. So now if we're going to look at what we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 for a total of 6 wholes. We also have 1/3 plus 1/3. Which gives us 2/3. So together they did 6 2/3 laps around the track. Here's another example. William is making punch for a party. He made 2 3/8 cups of fruit punch. He also made 2 7/8 cups of grape punch. How much total punch did he make? So he's making 2 different things and putting it together, so we're going to add them. So here we can see his 2 3/8, and this is our fruit punch. And here's our 2 7/8 of the grape punch. So we can start to put that together. There's 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, 4 wholes. So we have 4 total. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 4 total. And then we can take our 3/8 and slide it over next to our 7/8. And as we can see, we now have 10/8. So it's 4 10/8. But as I look at that picture, I notice something. I notice that our 10/8 is definitely more than 1 whole. So I can bring another whole in here. So really what I have is I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes. and then there's 2/8 extra, so 5 and 2/8. And then finally, we check to see whether we can simplify. And I can see that 1/4 is the same as 2/8. So I am able to simplify, dividing it by 2, to 5 and 1/4. One last example. VJ was making a book of cards for his family. He finished the first 3 2/5 pages on Monday, 2 1/5 pages on Tuesday, and 3 2/5 pages on Wednesday. How many cards did he make on Tuesday and Wednesday? So very important that we read carefully. They only want to know about Tuesday and Wednesday. So there's Wednesday, there's Tuesday. We're going to add those. Now this time, we're just going to take a look at our mixed number. So we already have 1, 2, and have those backwards. So there's our 2/5, and then here's our 1, 2, 3, and 1/5. Oh wait, nope, I had that correct. So if we're going to go ahead and add these, we would have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, or really 2 plus 3. So we have 5 wholes. And then we're just going to take our 1/5, bring it over, and we can see 1/5 plus 2/5 is 3/5. So he finished 5 3/5 pages on Tuesday and Wednesday.